The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
And then I guess before we get into then your first day in prison and just, you know, your first day of 3 years, we just watched the news snippets of, I guess, the report.
Yeah.
And seeing, you know, some of that footage, it's you know, wow, is just the only thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know, as comfortable as you are to talk about it, can you walk us through, I guess, your mind frame and that day of that robbery that got you sentenced to 3 years?
What, so the actual robbery?
Yeah, like just how was that day and how was that time leading up to it? What's going through your mind and, you know?
Nah, not too much, to be honest, bro. So crime is not new to me. I've done crime since an early age. I've been in some bad situations. I've done some bad things. So doing the armed robberies was just, you know, I was in a tough spot, and I was actually doing an apprenticeship at the time of the armed robberies. I was doing a carpentry apprenticeship. But I hit a tough spot, and I fell back into what I knew doing best when I was younger, you know. I hit a tough spot. I needed cash. So instead of doing things in a mature way, I just did what I knew best, you know.
Do you take drugs before doing something like that?
I didn't. Yeah, like, it's not like, like, you don't, I don't think many people do need drugs to go do a crime. You might be on drugs at the time of the crime. But no, not me, you know. Like, I needed money, and I didn't need drugs to go get that money.
And then, you know, so the armed hold-up's been committed. 5 months later is when the jacks have come and got you.
So I thought I was in the clear.
Yeah.
4 or 5 months goes by. 4 months goes by. No news, nothing. I thought we're in the clear, you know. But then my colleague got arrested. And I thought, fuck, what have they got, you know? I didn't know anything at this stage. I didn't know what evidence they had. And then I remember I was in Newport. I had an appointment. I was sitting in the waiting room, and they had a TV in the corner of the room, and a news clip come on, and it was a news clip about detectives still on the hunt for 2 violent armed robbers. They're stepping up the search. They got new evidence. They're setting up information caravans, and that's when I sort of thought, fuck, I'm not in the clear.
Yeah.
I was just hoping it was, you know, they'd not forgotten about it, but they just had nothing, and it had gone dead. And that made me think, fuck, you know, they're still hot on it.
And then so you've been pinched, you've gone through the process of being arrested, you've done your time in remand, then, you know, you've basically pleaded out, you've been sentenced, now you're on the bus to prison. How's that bus ride, and can you describe your first day, you know, going into jail? Were you nervous? Were you scared?
The day I was arrested. Yeah, so look, I've always had interactions with the jacks. Most of my boys have been in and out of jail. So jail itself I wasn't scared to go into prison, but obviously I had a lot going on. I'm thinking, fuck, I'm my house at home, my job, my partner, my family, you know, I was shattered, bro, you know. But, and even though going through that process of going to jail for the first time was all new to me, I already knew enough about jail and what it's like, you know, I knew what to expect, you know. You know, it's like when you do anything new, you have a bit of nerves. I was a little anxious. I wasn't scared. I was anxious, you know. All right, who's going to be there? Who am I going to bump into? How am I going to get myself sorted once I first get in there? What am I going to have to do, you know? So you have those sort of nerves, like, how am I going to set up? But I wasn't scared, you know. I was just disappointed that I was in this position. Yeah.
And then so when I've spoken to people that have been to prison, a lot of them talk about, you know, on the first day or the first couple of days, you know, someone or groups of people trying to test them, put it on them, you know, take things from them, etc.
Yeah.
You experience similar or the same sort of thing?
Yeah, of course, you know. So you're coming into someone else's world, you know. You're new. Prison's full of ego, full of violence. So of course you're going to get tested, you know. I had plenty of run-ins in jail, plenty of fights. You know, I had a big punch on my second day on remand, you know, a massive blue. You know, I'll give the guy credit, you know, like we were sweet after it, you know, it was a good blue. It was in the cell after lockdown, cell doors locked, and we went a few rounds for 5 minutes and we went hard, you know. But it was just like that. I was fresh off the street. He was testing me. You know, we had a scrap. I held my own, so you get that respect, you know. And obviously, you know, jail's a small world, you know. So you have a scrap, you do all right. You show in jail, even if you lose a fight, if you show good form, if you have a crack, people will respect that, win or lose. You know what I mean?
And then so that particular incident was in remand.
Yeah. I did 10 months on remand at MRC, maximum security, and I had more fights at medium security prisons than I did at maximum.
And why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think because, I don't know. I think in the unit that I was in on remand, you know, like once people know you can hold your own and you carry yourself well, people just leave you alone, you know. I don't know, you go to a sentence jail and there's new blokes coming in all the time that have just been sentenced and they're trying to make a name for themselves, or you bump into a bloke you had problems with in other jails and it just kicks off, you know.
Now, I guess the fight that you had in the remand, that sounds like, you know, like the fair one.
Yeah.
Closed cell, knock it out.
Yeah, shake hands afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have, I guess in your 3-year period, did you have any incidences that were not like that?
Not myself, not to me personally. I never got outed, but plenty of blokes do. Yeah, it happens all the time. But I understand that. I mean, if I'm in jail with my brothers and this guy disrespects my brother, I'll let my brother have a fair crack with him. At the end of the day, like, I'm still going to have his back, and if it kicks off, I'm going to help my mate, you know? You know, like, yeah, it happens in jail, bro. Like, there's a lot of blokes in there that need their mates to back them, but like, if you know deep down your mate can back himself, like, of course you're going to back him. Like, I want to see my mate back himself. If I know my mate's going to go in there one-on-one and have a crack with the cell door shut, then I don't need to let him do that because I know he'll do that. You know, it's like, fuck this dude, he just disrespected my brother, let's go sort it out, you know?
And did you, so I guess maybe not for you, but did you see any, you know, things in there that were pretty full on, maybe things with weapons, knives, shit like that?
I've seen blokes get stabbed, seen blokes get sexually assaulted, seen blokes get very badly injured, yeah. That's jail, that's jail. It's you're living with hundreds of blokes that are all missing home, that hate being there, that are going through issues, dramas in their life. It's just, everyone's angry, everyone's pissed off, everyone's violent. So that happens every day. You get used to the violence, you know. You know, but I've been around that my whole life. I'm not new to seeing people get stabbed. You know, I've seen people get shot. I've seen people get stabbed before jail. So seeing blokes get stabbed in jail, like, that doesn't bother me, you know.
What do you think is the most violent thing that you've ever seen, whether it be in or out of prison?
Oh, the most violent stuff I've seen is outside of prison. There's things I can't talk about. I've seen people being held for days and blokes had their way with them. Prison's just, you get stabbed in the neck, you get a pick in your, you get bashed, but, you know, outside's where the real violence is, you know. Like, yeah, you see someone get stabbed in jail, or you see someone get hit with a 12 gauge at close range on the outside, that's a bit worse, isn't it?
And then I guess the thing that you wouldn't, I imagine, see outside of jail, but you did mention seen in jail, is sexual assaults. And so you actually saw these things happen.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that, like, that more so happened back in the day, but not so much now, and depending on which prisons you're at, it varies.
Blokes aren't getting raped these days, but blokes are getting sexually assaulted and tormented, you know. So, for instance, you owe someone money, all right? You got 3 choices. You can either get 2 hot kettles poured over your back, you can either get filled with holes until you're airlifted to St. Vinny's, or you can get fucking done up the arse, you know?
Fucking hell. And these are the things that you would see go down in jail in your sentence.
Yeah, it's not things you see all the time,
But you do
it
see
happens
them.
all the time, and I have seen it.
And how do you think that, you know, did that do anything to you? Like,
Oh, look, I got no emotional attachment to the people that it happened to, so it doesn't bother me too bad. I mean, it's nothing that scars me. It's not stuff that I'd really want to see again. You know, I don't. Yeah, who wants to see that shit? You know, but I'm in jail trying to do my sentence, look after myself and my waxes. I'm not trying to worry about this bloke that owes money for fucking debts. He's getting fucking paddle pop sticks shoved up his ass and snapped off. That's his problem, bro, you know?
and then I guess on the 3 years, other than maybe some of the fights that you've had, and is that because you new people are coming in and you're getting moved around to like different prisons?
Nah, so it's not even like that. It's mainly just you're living with blokes all day, every day. Sometimes disrespect happens, you know. This bloke does something that disrespects you, you know. He's being rude to you. He's being a goose, you know. So you just gotta handle it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, yeah, you just live with people for that long in close vicinity. It just kicks off, you know. The fights aren't that bad. The fight's not that bad, you know. What, you have a scrap, you know. Like I'm not new to having a fight, you know. So people think, oh, in jail, like, people test you and that. Yeah, so what? You just have a scrap, you know.
And then get on with it.
You got to worry about getting an ice pick in your neck, you know. That's because most people in jail are quick to, you know, you're lucky if you get in a fight. Usually you disrespect someone, they go arm up and then come fill you with holes. So
Yeah, wow.
It bypasses that whole, there's no reasoning, there's usually no fight, you know. Oh, this bloke's being disrespected, he's got to look after his ego and keep his rep, so he's going to come, he's not going to take a chance fighting, you know. He's going to come put holes in there, you know.
And did you ever, although you had the fights, you never had incidences where someone tried to poke you?
No.
Yeah.
No. I didn't stab anyone in jail. I haven't been stabbed in jail. I've seen people get stabbed in jail. But no, not personally. Didn't happen to me.
The lesson.
927.